Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reality Hacker for July 19th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 29. And I'm MayorWatt. I run ohmTown.com. And along with the Sentient AI, usually here, and lately as of, maybe, I don't know for how long. Anyway, we're going to talk about 5 articles. An AI refugee avatar, lighthouses for aliens, training for robotic hands, quantum simulator, and virtual forest to calm your brain. And boy, do I need that. Anyway, this will be posted over to YouTube. It won't be streamed over to Twitch in real time. And for the foreseeable future, RealityHacker Wanted and the Continuity Report as well, and those are the Sunday edition of shows, or the Saturday edition of shows. The Sunday edition of shows is WarCrafters, TechnologyToday, and FourWheelTech. Those, all 6 of those, will be posted over to YouTube on the weekends from now on, and at least for the foreseeable future. And they each set of 3 becomes a composite for Non Sequitur News Saturday and Non Sequitur News Sunday edition. That's how it's going to play out. They all get posted over to YouTube or to the podcast as individual podcasts still, but we won't be able to stream on the weekends themselves. They will be played over on Twitch on the weekends along with YouTube, and I will be streaming every day, Monday through Friday. And then when I'm not actually streaming live, I'm going to be restreaming the last 2 weeks of shows. So you'll always have some content, some new content every single day. So I hope you like the new format. Unfortunately, I am not able to do this full time yet. I would like to. That would be great. But a mayor's job is just never done until, well, I guess he's displaced by another candidate. I don't know what to say. Anyway, let's get into it. All right. So this is ohmTown. That is Reality Hacker, and this is our first article. A United Nations Research Institute created an AI refugee avatar. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but a research institute connected with the United Nations has created 2 AI-powered avatars designed to teach people about refugee issues instead of actually, I don't know, using somebody that's a subject matter expert in it. But I guess you can use proxies now, and that's okay. But how do you change the dynamic? I don't get it. 404 Media wrote about an experiment conducted by a class at the United Nations University Center for Policy Research and resulted in the creation of 2 AI agents. So the article is over at TechCrunch.com. Anthony Ha put the article together. These 2, Amina and Abdallah, on the experiment's website, received an error message when the Anthony Ha tried to go over there. When the author of this article went over there. And when they tried to register on Saturday afternoon, apparently. Eduardo Albrecht, a Columbia professor and senior fellow at the UNU CPR, told 404 Media that he and his students were just playing around with the concept and not proposing this as a solution for the UN. But a paper summarizing this work suggested that these avatars could eventually be used to quickly make a case to donors. However, it also noted that many workshop attendees who interacted with the agents responded negatively. Yeah. Saying that refugees are very capable of speaking for themselves in real life. Yeah, no shit. The next article is over in the Mobile channel. Earth's airports are basically lighthouses for aliens. Yeah, new research out of Manchester, led by astrophysics PhD candidate Romero Cass, I guess, or Case Sade, maybe S-A-I-D-E, Sade or Sadie. I'm not sure how they pronounce their last name. Shows that the electromagnetic noise from global airline and military radar is leaking into space, and aliens up to 200 light years away could hear it. But we've been pumping out noise for 100 years. Louis Prado over at Vice.com put this article together. And their patterns are so specific and regular that they'd appear clearly artificial to any extraterrestrial with a decent telescope and a physics degree, is what the author says. Again, Louis Prada. And the researchers are talking about this. But it says, we don't see anybody floating around out there that we can contact directly. But in 1977, we launched 2 gold-plated phonograph records into space containing all sorts of information about life on Earth. A few years before that, Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, which you might remember from the final set piece of the James Bond movie GoldenEye, or from Contact, the movie Contact, was used to blast some binary code into space containing some similarly basic information about the building blocks of life on Earth. But I don't know if that could trace back. Maybe the angle of attack would be able, somebody would be able to blue shift, I guess, our location. I don't know. But those were very intentional messages, deliberately laced with basic facts of human life on Earth to give potential visitors a crash course in the fundamentals of who we are. Great. But it says that here that we've been sending out a lot more information than we once thought. And because of that, people are, well, some of these researchers are considering being a little bit more paranoid about, what are we doing? Why are we sending out this information? But there's no way to really stop it. We're broadcasting radio waves, etc. Well, electromagnetic noise out into space. So, and they'd have to be pretty sensitive. I don't think anybody 200 light years away is going to be picking up FCC chatter at an airport. Anyway, the next article is over in Technology Today. New simulation system generates thousands of training examples for robotic hands and arms. When ChatGPT or Gemini give what seems to be an expert response to your burning questions, you may not realize how much information it relies on to give that reply. Like other popular generative artificial intelligence or AI models, not artificial general intelligence, AI versus AGI. These chatbots rely on a backbone system called foundation models that train on billions and even trillions of data points. This article is over at techexplore.com. Alex Ships from Massachusetts Institute of Technology put the article together, but it's edited by Lisa Locke and Andrew Zenin. A simulation-driven approach called PhysicsGen from MIT's Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, CSAIL, and the Robotics and AI Institute customizes robots' training data to help robots find the most efficient movements for a task. The system can multiply a few dozen VR demonstrations into nearly 3,000 simulations per machine. These high-quality instructions are then mapped to the precise configurations of mechanical companions like robotic arms and hands. So this is the one thing. Okay, so back when I first started talking about this stuff, I said one of the major limitations for robotics is that they have to be purpose-built until they learn fine motor skills. When they learn fine motor skills, then they can pick something up because they've learned it once how to, and or they can adapt extremely quickly, and they can do it a lot faster than humans can, you might think, but no, that's not true. There's so many little beeps and whistles here with your hands that they're not just linear like a robot, right? They move left and right, and they're very subtle, and they get heat and cold and pain and pleasure, sensory inputs, so you know what to do. You learn quickly not to burn your hand twice because you're not a dumbass. Well, anyway, robots don't really care about that stuff, and so they have to be programmed to do something. They don't really learn, so to speak. They have to do it thousands of times, millions of times, etc. Well, PhysicsGen creates data that generalizes to specific robots and conditions via a 3-step process. First, a VR headset tracks how humans manipulate objects like blocks using their hands. The interactions are then mapped in a 3D physics simulator at the same time, visualizing the key points of our hands as small spheres that mirror our gestures. For example, if you flipped a toy over, you'd see 3D shapes representing different parts of your hands rotating a virtual version of that object. The pipeline then remaps those points to a 3D model of the setup of a specific machine, like a robotic arm, moving them in the precise joints where a system twists and turns. And finally, PhysicsGen uses trajectory optimization, essentially simulating the most efficient motions to complete a task, so the robot knows the best ways to do something like repositioning a box. Yeah, so they won't just keep on colliding into the microphone like I just did. I did that intentionally. Well, anyway, PhysicsGen turned just 24 human demonstrations into thousands of simulated ones, helping both digital and real-world robots reorient objects. Yang and their colleagues first tested the pipeline in a virtual experiment where a floating robotic hand needed to rotate a block into a target position. The digital robot executed the task at a rate of 81% accuracy by training on PhysicsGen's massive dataset, a 60% improvement from a baseline that only learned from human demonstrations. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about when I tell people about the evolution of technology. It happens a whole lot faster than humans learn from their mistakes. The problem is humans are very expensive in their efforts to learn. The next article is over in RealityHacker. A quantum simulator could help uncover materials for high-performance electronics. Researchers created a synthetic magnetic field using a superconducting quantum processor, which could enable them to precisely study complex phenomena in materials like phase changes, metamaterial, really. This could shed light on properties of unique materials that may be used to create faster or more powerful electronics. I agree. The article is straight out of Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It doesn't have a byline so much, just the source. But it's posted over at ScienceDaily.com. You can get access to all of that. You can actually just hit !RH in chat over on Twitch. It'll be embedded in the show notes over on YouTube when this gets posted. But by emulating a magnetic field on a superconducting quantum computer, researchers can probe complex properties of materials. So some phenomena that occur in materials can be challenging to mimic because are using quantum computers, leaving gaps in the problems that scientists have explored with quantum hardware. To fill one of these gaps, MIT researchers developed a technique to generate synthetic electromagnetic fields on superconducting quantum processors. The team demonstrated the technique on a processor comprising 16 qubits. By dynamically controlling how the 16 qubits in their processor are coupled to one another, the researchers were able to emulate how electrons move between atoms in the presence of an electromagnetic field. Moreover, the synthetic electromagnetic field is broadly adjustable, enabling scientists to explore a range of material properties. Quite fascinating. Companies like IBM and Google are striving to build large-scale digital quantum computers that hold the promise of outperforming their classical counterparts by running certain algorithms far more rapidly. And let's go on to our last article. It's over in Technology Today. It's one of our 3 shows on Sunday. And this one is this virtual forest calms your brain, no hiking required. A new study reveals that forest bathing doesn't have to happen outdoors to be effective. When recreated in virtual reality with visuals, forest sounds, natural scents, it can ease stress, improve mood, and even enhance memory. Participants who experienced a fully immersive VR forest showed stronger emotional and cognitive benefits than those who did not or had to go out to do it. Max Planck Institute for Human Development put the article together. It's posted over at SciTech Daily. The research opens the door for virtual nature therapy in places like clinics, waiting rooms, urban spaces where greenery is scarce. Those who were only exposed to one sensory input did not have the same level of emotional and cognitive benefits. So in Japan, the practice of Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, is already used for therapeutic purposes, such as reducing stress and lowering blood pressure. In this study, the researchers set out to explore whether a similar benefit could be achieved through virtual exposure to nature, whether the impact would be greater when more than one sense was stimulated at the same time. But to test this, they created high-resolution 360-degree virtual reality video filmed in the Sonnenberg Nature Reserve in Parcham, I guess, or Parkham. I'm not sure how they pronounce it. Europe's largest Douglas fir forest. The video included natural forest sounds, the scent of Douglas fir essential oils. Participants experienced the simulation either as a full multisensory session with visuals, audio, and scent, or simplified versions that focused on just one sense, visual, auditory, or olfactory. For the audio-only and scent-only experiences, a neutral virtual setting was used to avoid distractions from visual elements and to control for the effects of VR itself. More than 130 participants were first put into acute stress situation using stress-inducing images. Must have saw my paycheck. Anyway, quick takeaways. Forest bathing in virtual reality improves emotional well-being and increases connectedness to nature, particularly when several senses, sight, hearing, and smell, are simultaneously engaged. The study used a 360-degree VR forest video, complete with original sounds and the scent of Douglas fir essential oils. Not in VR, though. The forest oils were probably spritzed in the room. There is potential for application, especially in clinical, urban, and other environments with limited access to nature. I agree. All right, but that's it. That is the last article for today's Reality Hacker. In the meantime, I want you to go over to RealityHacker over at ohmTown.com. Haven't been able to get to the point where I can just have you type in Reality Hacker and you go to it. But anyway, you probably could. I wonder. Let me see if I can still, if that's actually set up still. Hold on. It is. So you can actually just type in realityhacker.com and it'll take you to ohmTown.com's sub channel. Or really what these are is ohmTown is the community. Each one of these are streets and these are side streets down. And whenever we do a show, I say look left and look right, and those are the articles that we are seeing as we walk down Main Street. I don't know. It's a little bit of canon. At any rate, that is it for today's Reality Hacker. We'll see you on Monday, the 21st, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wanted for July 19th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 29. Today, MayorWatt, not the Sentient AI, they're still not available. We're going to talk about 5 articles that are aggregated into ohmTown.com and into the sub-channel, sometimes Wanted. Anyway, we're going to talk about Bluetooth headphones, a Martian meteorite, the Galaxy Z Flip 7, cooling gadgets and gear, and the Samsung Trifold. Boop. Hello, everybody. Yeah, so I'm doing this for all of the shows. I just got done recording Reality Hacker. That'll be available on the weekend, the 19th, on July 19th. And this show will be available on July 19th as a podcast and over on YouTube. It won't be streamed, and we won't be streaming Reality Hacker, Wanted, the Continuity Report, WarCrafters, TechnologyToday, or FourWheelTech over on Twitch live. And we won't be streaming it in YouTube or on Twitch, but it will be posted over on YouTube and streamed as our daily replay, I guess you want to call it. We restream all of the shows over the last 2 weeks, and it's rolling every day. We add on that day's new show, so it's basically 14 days, over 160 articles, 24 hours worth of more than 24 hours worth of news that we talk about. And really, you can go over to ohmTown.com as well and check out all of the articles that are over there. That said, I'm in my time machine doing the show so that I can do the show properly for the 19th, July 19th. But at any rate, so this is the front page of ohmTown from when I left, but for the future, we have a time machine, so it allows me to go forward and back in time. And this article, this is wanted. Oh my gosh, my brain. Sometimes the quantum entanglement messes with my brain. Electromagnetic field is quite powerful. And inside wanted is an article, and we've got all 5 of them all set up. The article that we're going to talk about is these stylish Bluetooth headphones with unbelievable battery life are still cheaper than ever after Prime Day. So the Marshall Major 5 or V, I think it's 5 headphones can last you a week and are clutch for all sorts of situations, and you can still get them for 38% off, according to this article. But again, I'm in the time machine, so prices may vary. But the reason why I wanted to talk about these is because these are stylish Bluetooth headphones. Now, I really don't like cans, big headphones like that. I wear these. I wear in-ear monitors that I actually make that are wireless as well. But for whatever reason, I still dig these. And so Thomas Kika over at cnet.com put this article together. And it says, move quickly, though, because with Prime Day done and dusted, who knows how long the price will stick. Pardon me one second. Time machine makes me sneeze, apparently. So I'm going to do this live. Well, sort of live. For me, it's live. For you, it's a time machine, but it's live because it's going to be on the 19th for you. So it's live, sort of, for you. Does that make sense? All right. Well, anyway, let's see. Marshall Major 5 headphones. So, and they're currently $99. So they were $159. And so they're $99 right now, which is all-time low price of $100 or around 38% off. These don't seem to be all that bad. They can run a week, which is absolutely amazing. They've got different versions of it: midnight blue, cream, brown, and black, but only the black ones are at $99.99. I dig these, but I don't know if they've got a hinge to pivot. Let me see if they actually fold up. I don't think they fold up in the conventional sense. Yeah, hinges suck. So I have several headphones that have broken simply at the hinge because nobody makes metal hinges. They make the plastic hinges, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. So they say, I might not be a true battle-tested headphone expert like CNET's David Carnoy, but they still love headphones, and they're confident about these that they like. So these are, Marshall is a British audio hardware company that got its start back in the early 60s. So why does the deal matter? They were able to scoop the Marshall Major 5 for $100, the lowest price they've gone since they debuted last year, and for that price, it's basically a steal. They don't go into much detail about these things other than that's the price, but they're Bluetooth headphones. And so over 100 hours of wireless playtime. It says rugged and foldable design, rugged so that it lasts, foldable for compact storage, but it's foldable. It doesn't pivot. Customizable M button instantly allows you to access Spotify tap default function for your EQ settings or voice assistant, thanks to Major V's M button in the Marshall Bluetooth app. So you'll be able to, and it says wireless charging. It says we don't like wires either. They just get in the way. Thanks to wireless charging, it's simple to give it a boost. So I don't know how it does wireless charging. Hold on. Oh, you just set it on on the butt of one of its cups, and one of the, the cinnamon rolls. And it charges. Well, that's the shit. It takes a while for 100 hours. The Major 4, it takes 80 hours. It takes 3 hours to get to 80 plus hours. And for the Major 5s, 3 hours to get to 100 full hours of playtime. Neither one have noise canceling, but the Major 5 are low energy, Bluetooth ready, whereas the other ones are 5.0. And that low energy is what makes the difference between 80 plus hours of playtime and 100 hours of playtime. So I hope that wasn't really quiet with the off axis. Ugh, God, I'm so sorry. At any rate, go and check these out. Pretty cool deal. Let's go on. The next article is over in the Wanted channel. Biggest Martian meteorite ever found could fetch $4 million at auction. Meteorite NWA. NWA, isn't that a group, a music group? Anyway, 16788 traveled roughly 140. NWA traveled nearly 140 million miles to get here, crash landing in the Sahara Desert. What? I never knew that about NWA. Anyway, Ellen Lapointe over at Gizmodo.com put this article together. One lucky bidder will soon fork over millions of dollars to take home NWA 16788, a 54-pound Martian meteorite. And I always say that it's from Martian sources, so I don't know why, but okay. Sotheby's, a New York-based auction house, estimates that the meteorite could fetch up to $4 million. I have not looked at the site since going into the time machine, so I have no idea. Bidding starts at a cool 1.9 million. Sotheby's describes NWA as an incredibly rare discovery that traveled 140 million miles through space before plunging into Earth's atmosphere. So it naturally belongs to somebody. The reddish brown boulder is roughly 70% bigger than the next largest piece of Mars found on Earth. Sorry, my brain makes me want to make snarky comments, but I'll stop. Anyway, the meteorite hunter discovered NWA 16788 exactly 2 years before its auction date while searching for space rocks in the Kaf region of Niger. According to the Meteorological Society, the organization documented its physical characteristics as gray to brown exterior surface partially covered with a gray to brown fusion crust. All right. Anyway, there's a lot more over at this article. Go check it out. The next article, and you can get today's articles over on Twitch by typing in !want, or you can go over to YouTube and you'll find Wanted sitting there with the show notes embedded in it, and also download the podcast because the show notes will have all of this, all of our links that we link to our sources. We only get a little snippet from the sources. Anyway, the article, so the next article is over in the Wanted channel. The ridiculously thin Galaxy Z Flip 7 is sturdy AF, they say here. Ask me how I know, says the author. The author is Patrick Holland. Apparently they probably sat on this thing while it was open. They say they're here to tell you not to worry about the foldable phone because after less than 6 hours with the Galaxy Z Flip 7, they accidentally performed their own informal drop test at a catered affair in Brooklyn. They walked outside to get a view of the waterfront and then pulled the Z Flip 7 out of their pocket, fumbled it, watched helplessly as Samsung's newest foldable phone fell to the ground. The noise it made when it clacked against the concrete caused everyone to look around at me with a knowing, sympathetic expression of, "Oh, dumbass. Your phone is toast," is what he actually says in the article. But have you ever dropped your phone? There's a Schrodinger's cat-like moment before you pick it up when you're anxious to see if the phone survived. Unfortunately, it did. 4.1-inch cover screen didn't have any cracks or scuffs. The 6.9-inch inner display was unharmed because the phone was shut. The only tell that it kissed the ground was a tiny scuff on the bottom of the phone near the microphone. Samsung claims that the new Armor Flex hinge is built to withstand impact. Indeed, true. Dun dun dun. So yeah, it's pretty thin. The thing that I don't like about the Fold is you can always see the fold, and I can't abide. I want a roll-up screen. Just let it roll all the way up so that it never has a crease. Let's see if they even open it up all the way so that you can see. Even there, they don't open it up all the way, and none of this matters to me. Don't show me the spine of it. I want to see it opened all the way. Hold on, let me scroll back up and see. No, they never show you. Hold on. I'm gonna do this live. Galaxy Z Flip 7 unfolded. I swear, does anybody open the damn phone up all the way? Yeah, all of the, okay. So the one that I see is a larger, so the one that I see is on Samsung's newsroom page. So I don't know. I don't like anything about that. I want to see the phone in natural lighting to see if I can see the damn crease. Anyway, yeah, it's really thin. It's 6.5 millimeters thick when open, 13.7 millimeters thick when closed. So why wouldn't the Flip be super slim like the Fold 7? They keep imagining Galaxy Z Flip 8 with the same thinness as the Fold 7. And for some perspective, here's how it compares to others. So hold on. Let's see. Yeah, it's thinner than an iPhone by a full millimeter. Yeah. Pretty amazing. The Fold 7 is ridiculously thin. The Galaxy Z Flip 7 looks like it also went on Ozempic, but it's 13.7 millimeters thick when closed. That's slim, but not Fold 7 slim. Well, that's because it's twice as thick. I mean, it's folded, it's half the size, but anyway. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Technology Today. Beat the heat with these cooling gadgets and wearables. When you click the link, you'll get taken over to techexplore.com. You can only sit in front of the fridge with door open for so long as heat waves blast the world like a blow dryer on high. Folks are reaching for anything that promises a little personal chill. Portable mini fans, cooling neck wraps, tech vests, and all kinds of heat-beating headwear. So, of course, cooling gear helps you when paired with basic and safe strategies against the heat. Most importantly, hydration, shade, and rest. Stay out of extreme heat when possible. Know the signs of heat exhaustion or heat stroke. And just try to be chill. Indoors, stay comfy with cool feel sheets. They got a bunch of stuff listed here. Cooling pillow, a chill pad, which are filled with gel that stay cool for hours. Sleep product brands include Serta, Sealy, Casper, Pluto, Threshold. Chill pads work for your own bed and pets too. Outdoor wear. Claire Epstein, an employee safety expert with Vector Solutions in Tampa, Florida, works to reduce heat stress by soaking the fabric in cold water at the beginning of the day. The vest slowly cools and keeps the wearer cool. Clothes made of phase change materials, or PCMs, contain gel capsules or pads that can help moderate body temperature. Uline advertises a vest that stays under 60 degrees for a few hours, and AlphaCool offers a neck tube that performs similarly. Another feature of the tube, which is made of a polymer material, is that it doesn't get overly chilled, so it's safe for kids to use. Yeah, there's quite a bit more. Then there's chill advice. Basically, wake up early, get everything done by 11 o'clock, get back inside the shade, hydrate, use a fan if you can. It says pop your sheets into the freezer at least 2 hours before bedtime, then pull them right out before you hit the sack. She folds hers into a zip plastic bag, flattens it, and then sets it on the freezer shelf between ice packs. I don't know. That makes moisture fall out of whatever warm ambient air might be there. All right. The next article is over in RealityHacker. Gear news of the week. Samsung's trifold promise, IKEA Sonos Split, and Hugging Face's new robot. The article is over in the Wired.com site. Julian Chikadu put the article together. They also, in this article, have OnePlus debuts 5 new devices. iOS 26 has beta drama, and Honor's new folding phone is slimmer than Samsung's, which that's a trip. So Samsung released the Galaxy Z Fold 7. Let's see. Huawei first unveiled its trifold, the Mate XT, in China last year with an eye-watering price of 3,499 euros or $4,090 approximately. And Samsung showed off the concept version of the Mobile World Congress 2025. Up the price of the Galaxy Z Fold 7 flagship to $2,000. That's ridiculous prices. So think of it as a STEM toy, they say here. The Reachy 2 humanoid robot. The Reachy Mini is open for pre-order at $449, though there's a light version at $299. It's Hugging Face's new coding robot. It's a STEM toy or a Raspberry Pi. In fact, the robot is powered by a Raspberry Pi 5 mini computer. You have to build it yourself, and there are more than 15 robot behaviors, so you can learn how to use it out of the box. Reachy Mini can employ the latest AI models and can program it to act in certain ways. The head is motorized and the antennas move around too. It has a camera, microphone, speakers for interacting with its surroundings. I don't know about that one. iOS 26 beta drama. Some drama has been brewing after the recent developer beta 3. The company reduced the transparency of its liquid glass design language, making the interface appear more like frosted glass. That's drawn criticism. Yeah, I don't really like that. Basically, liquid glass is aqua, and I did not like aqua. So IKEA ditches Sonos and Zigbee for Matter and Spotify. So this is a picture of some IKEA whatever, but Matter is basically interoperable software and standard, really. And everybody should be using Matter instead of proprietary bullshit. It's a new day for smart home strategy as popular Swedish furniture purveyor IKEA, as the company announced more than 20 new Matter smart light sensors remotes using the Thread protocol. That means that you can snag some of IKEA's affordable wares and use them directly with your Apple HomeKit, Amazon Alexa, Google Home, or Samsung SmartThings setup without having to purchase an IKEA hub. And OnePlus has 5 new devices, but only 2 for the US. The rest of the new... it was 5 Plus for OnePlus this week as the company unveiled a slew of new devices. A smaller 43mm version of the Watch 3 that's far more comfortable, it says here, but has less stamina than its larger sibling, is now available from OnePlus for $300, a full $100 less than the 47mm model. The very affordable wireless buds are also landing in the US at $130, but then there's others. OnePlus Nord 5 is not in the US, it's in Europe and India, different bandwidth. Has a 6.83-inch display and a silky 144 hertz refresh rate. Oh yeah. Anyway, there's a bunch of other stuff. Honor's Magic V5, for instance, is a foldable that's getting slimmer, it says here. They always show it with that little crease, and I don't know what that really looks like after, a couple of months of opening and closing it. So it's 8.8 millimeters thick, a whopping 0.1 millimeter thinner than the Galaxy Z Fold 7. But it's got a big ass screen, so... Anyway, that's it for Wanted, and I want to bring you back to the front page of Wanted over at ohmTown.com. Go over there, sign up, sign in, and then follow us on YouTube and Twitch, and download the podcast, and go over to Discord and leave a comment there. But leave a review for the podcast over on Apple or wherever else you want to. But send me an email, mayor@ohmTown.com. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. See you in a little bit. Got to do the continuity report next. And then maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to do the July 16 article when I get back into the time machine and head back to my prime timeline. See you in a little bit. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the continuity report for July 19th, 2025. I am MayorWatt. Oh, it's season 2, episode 29. I am MayorWatt. I run ohmTown.com. The Sentient AI is not available today, unfortunately, but I'm going to be talking about Demon Slayer, Indiana Jones and the Great Sequel. That's not really the name of the movie. Hocus Pocus 3 updates, or the game, by the way. Hocus Pocus 3 updates, Andor and the 14 Emmy noms, and Rockstar Games Social Club closes. This is the second time I've done this intro. I don't like to edit things. I like everything to just be smooth sailing. But this is the production value. This is what everybody's paying for. Everything's powered by ohmTown. Go over there, sign up, sign in, manage your information overload. All news, no noise. You can create some noise. Come on over and hang out with us when we do the shows live Monday through Friday, at least for this foreseeable future. And they'll be over on YouTube streamed as well at the same time, Twitch and YouTube. But everything gets posted to YouTube and to the podcasts. Unfortunately, Twitch tends to delete everything after 60 days. Not tends, they always do. So when we post stuff over there, it'll eventually go away. Like all chat, all blah interaction just goes away. So we have to do it live. But again, for the foreseeable future, Monday through Friday, we'll be doing Non Sequitur news, and then all of the other shows. There's going to be 7 of them here with Constructagon, the 3D modeling or 3D printing show kicking off this weekend as well. So anyway, let's get into it. Okay, because this is a time machine episode, I have the 16th. That's when I jumped in the time machine to gather up all of the information so that I could do the July 19th show of the Continuity Report. This is the Continuity Report, and this is our first article. It's in the Continuity Report, but it's aggregated from Screen Rant. Demon Slayer just shattered a major box office record well before Infinity Castle even hits theaters. Demon Slayer has done it again even before Infinity Castle movie trilogy makes its cinematic debut. The first installment is already making history. Advanced tickets for Infinity Castle Part 1 sold out across all Japanese theaters in just 10 minutes, echoing the frenzy that surrounded 2020's Mugen Train, which became the highest grossing anime film of all time. This article is over at Screen Rant, like I mentioned. Hannah Diffie put the article together. And so Infinity Castle could be poised to match or surpass the franchise's most legendary box office run. A repeat of Mugen Train's unstoppable momentum, Infinity Castle's pre-sale madness sets the bar high. So Part 1 is sold out. Let's see here. So the immediate sellout of Infinity Castle Part 1 recalls the whirlwind success of Mugen Train, which raked in over $365 million globally. That film did not just top anime box offices, it beat every movie worldwide in 2020. With Infinity Castle following a near identical sales trajectory, the hype is undeniably real. The fact that fans crashed websites, snatched tickets the moment they went live, shows how eager audiences are for Demon Slayer's next chapter. Let's see. Infinity Castle might soon challenge Mugen Train's legacy. They just keep reiterating that same thing. So, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba is a wildly popular anime and manga franchise created by Koyoharu Gotouge, set in Taisho-era Japan. It follows Tanjiro Kamado as he battles demons and seeks a cure for his sister, Nezuko, who was turned into one. The franchise includes a manga, anime TV series, films, video games, and spin-offs. Known for its stunning animation and gripping storyline, Demon Slayer is one of the highest-grossing media franchises of all time. So Infinity Castle is coming out July 18th. So, dun, dun, dun. The next article is over in WarCrafters. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle sequel may already be in development. A new job listing at Machine Games could indicate that a sequel to Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is already in development. It's one of the studio's most well-regarded games, and while there's no confirmation, it's likely. So, Gabriel Mercado Pereza put this article together for GameRant.com. Originally released in December 2024 for PC and Xbox, it seemed to flash out really fast. Like, people just completed it and it was done. It received glowing reviews, became one of the most popular first-party games A few months ago, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was released for PS5, selling units faster than its first launch, which cemented it as an incredibly successful title. Now a new job listing at ZeniMax. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't know. It says ZeniMax responds to Microsoft canceling some content, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if this is actually going to happen though, so I guess we'll just have to watch it. Working in the game and or film industry and being familiar with the industry of entertainment such as films is required qualifications for the senior concept artist. So it could be that the new job ad could indicate that the next Indiana Jones is already in development, but ZeniMax just took one to the chin as far as I know, right? Not sure what all was canceled. I know that the Blackbird MMO project was canceled, but yeah, not sure what else is going to end up happening. Despite being released a while ago, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is still getting updates, as the devs fix bugs and improve the game's performance. In one recent update, with DualSense's adaptive triggers were corrected on both PS5 and PC, and the game was finally verified on Steam Deck. So it's still happening. There's more over here at the Game Rant article. Go over and check it out. The next article is over in the continuity report itself. It's an article from Variety. Sarah Jessica Parker still wants Hocus Pocus 3 and says we've been having some conversations after Bette Midler told Disney to hurry up and finish the script. Appeared on Watch What Happens Live and got asked about Hocus Pocus 3, which Disney first announced was in development 2 years ago. Since then, it's been near radio silent. Yeah, I want Hocus Pocus 3 to come back, or Hocus Pocus to come back as Hocus Pocus 3. But something's going to have to happen. I mean, the sisters are going to have to be replaced, or at least pass the torch, so to speak, to prospective witches in a different age, modern age, past age. Who knows? Parker headlined 1993's Hocus Pocus alongside Bette Midler and Kathy Najimy as the Sanderson sisters, a trio of witches who got resurrected on Halloween night and tried to scheme their way to permanently staying in the land of the living. Let's see. She quipped, I haven't seen the script, but I've heard rumblings. I think if they're gonna, they oughta, because time is not just marching. Time is barrel-assing to the finish line. Get us while we're still breathing. I mean, God. Yeah. Abundantly aware of mortality. So we're still in the story phase. We're still working on it. D'Angelo said at the time, we've been working on some ideas. It's been fun to dive back into the world, and we have so many directions in which to go and so many new characters to explore. We've only scratched the surface of Hannah Waddingham's Mother Witch. This is from the Hocus Pocus 2 screenwriter Jen D'Angelo, confirmed to Entertainment Weekly in 2023 after the end of the WGA strike that Hocus Pocus 3 was still in development. Hocus Pocus 2 broke records on the Nielsen Top 10 streaming charts when it debuted, earning an opening weekend of 2.7 billion minutes watched. I would love for that to happen. All right, let's keep moving. The next article is over in the Wanted channel. Andor gets 40 Emmy nominations in a genre-heavy year. Severance led all nominees, and Last of Us and Penguin did as well, but plus Harrison Ford. So Andor, I think, is great. Jermaine Lucier put the article, or Lucier, I'm not sure how they pronounce their last name, put the article together. So Severance led all nominees. I can't get into that show. Maybe it's going to end up like, oh, yeah, I said who it was. Maybe it's going to be like Arrested Development, and like a decade later, I'll go, oh yeah, that's really fun. Anyway, other genre shows such as The Acolyte, Agatha All Along, Black Mirror, The Boys, Cobra Kai, Dune Prophecy, House of the Dragon, Invincible, Paradise, Poker Face, which I think is awesome, What If, and What We Do in the Shadows, all each got at least one nomination, and for the first time ever, Han Solo himself, Harrison Ford, got an Emmy nomination for his work on the Apple TV Plus show, Shrinking. All of the nominations and whatnot are here. You can go and check it all out. There's a bunch of There's a lot more content, but I won't get into it. I'll let you go over and read it. The next article is over in the Continuity Report, and it's the last article for today's episode of the Continuity Report. It's the end of the road for Rockstar Games' Social Club. After 17 years, Rockstar Games' Social Club appears to have finally reached the end of its road. Launching alongside the console version of Grand Theft Auto 4 in 2008, Social Club was a website with social features focusing on Rockstar titles. It featured support for every major Rockstar release since GTA 4, I guess, to Red Dead Redemption 2. I think everything is going over to Discord, really. And social, it's balkanized across a bunch of different social media sites. As spotted by Video Chuck on Twitter and reported by Game Rant, Rockstar Games' Social Club has seemingly been shut down. Ben Brosofsky put the article together for ScreenRant.com. So what was Rockstar Social Club? It was a community tool for Rockstar Games. Everybody would just hang out there. Join over 100 million Social Club members worldwide on the official Rockstar Games platform to enhance and extend your gaming experience. But these silos are kind of crap. As a product of the social media boom era, it made sense to as a way to keep a massive player base engaged, and it helped to support in-game features like Cruise GTA Online. Rockstar is yet to comment. Radio silence from the studio, apparently. There's no guarantee of any removed features returning. It's possible that the major revamp is simply being planned ahead of GTA 6's release, and classic features could all return in some form or another. I don't know. I think it's going to be software as a service for GTA 6, and so everything will be in-game. The shutdown of social features for insular communities has been relatively common in recent years, with many users more likely to post their game clips to broader social media sites than a game-specific one, so like to YouTube and streaming to Twitch and building their own independent communities around their personalities. So we'll see what happens, but I'm kind of waiting for GTA 6. I never really got into GTA, but I think that maybe it would be a fun time. Better graphics, a different world, higher end technologies involved. I would like some survival base building kind of things where I can actually have my own home and build it out. But I never really got into GTA to begin with. But we are going to Grand Theft Auto our butts back to the front page of the continuity report over at ohmTown.com. Let me see if I can do it with this one too. See, there was a time I'm doing it live. Really? I'll have to take a look at it. Anyway, there you go, folks. Go over to ohmTown.com, sign up, sign in, become a citizen, then hang out with us on Twitch and YouTube. This show is also a podcast. All of our shows are a podcast. We have 7 podcasts. Constructagon is going to be our 8th podcast, as well as channel over on, not channel, but community over on YouTube and Discord and so on. So I've got 50 that I'd like to bring to market, but I can't be everywhere. And if you're interested in hosting or co-hosting a channel, get in touch. Send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com. We'll see y'all in a little bit. Bye-bye.